Hey y'all, I'm just adding this to the beginning of the video that I have created for today because I had not yet read Proverbs chapter 23 when I was talking with my morning ramblings. And yeah, I think the morning ramblings fit very well with Proverbs chapter 23. So, once you listen to my morning ramblings, or actually first you can turn the volume down and read Proverbs chapter 23 on the screen, and then go back to the beginning and turn the volume up and actually listen to what I say, or vice versa, whichever makes you happy. But yeah, they actually God coordinated that quite well. So now onto the original video. Good morning, all. It is October 23rd and very chilly. But nonetheless, it's the 23rd. We need to read Proverbs chapter 23. Also, because it is the 23rd, it means it's my oldest son's birthday. So, pre-planning a little of that yesterday. We don't really celebrate birthdays or anything, but I did get him some bread from the Mexican store uptown, which that's one thing that he has always liked. So, but actually, and it also kind of goes into what has been I've been thinking about, especially after something that I had an issue with yesterday. The food that we're eating. Maybe I should say the so-called food that we're eating. I'm not going to put 100% full on blast because, obviously I'm still working at the place. And, obviously it's difficult. You can say and suggest things at a place, but that doesn't mean anyone's going to listen to you. What exactly are you eating? In my humble personal opinion, only from basing it on the fact that I know that stuff is never healthy at all anyway, but also on the fact of a lot of stuff that I have saw. I'm just going to say, if at all possible, avoid gas station food. Period, plain and simple. Do the very, 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 very best that you can do to avoid gas station food. There's a lot of food that I serve that I would not touch, just for the simple fact that it has pork. Go read Leviticus and you will see that God has not called all things food. So, there's that. He created our body. He knows what we should and should not put into our body. And scavengers is not something that's on the list of what we should be eating. But I digress. So, other issues that I personally have with gas station food, other than them all being totally deep fried and all of that yuck. I think if I read the machine correctly, the oil is supposed to be changed out, completely changed, to put clean oil in after 100 uses. Now, I honestly don't know. I don't keep up with if that does or doesn't happen where I work. But I will tell you, on occasion, okay, and what clear, I do eat a biscuit almost every single day from where I work. It is baked in the oven. It doesn't make it any healthier for me, really, because I really don't need the carbs and all of that stuff. It's not necessarily healthy. But anyway, pretty well everything else is going to be deep fried unless it's the prepared foods that go in the oven. And, the plethora of extra ingredients in them. Even the eggs have an ingredient list. And it includes more than eggs, salt, and pepper. But anyway, everything else is deep fried in this oil. On occasion, I have been known to grab a potato wedge, a chicken liver, a tater tot occasionally, something like that. But I really, 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 really tried to limit that. And after yesterday, I'm going to probably nix all that stuff off because it was a day for me yesterday, so I was like, I'm gonna grab just a couple tater tots, throw some ketchup on them. I didn't want to walk out to the car to get a can of pineapple I've got kicking around the floorboard. So grab these tater tots, throw some ketchup on one, and oh my gosh, it was the nasty. It tastes like the oil was rancid. I mean, it's bad enough that the hash browns and tater tots are basically oil sponges. There's, if you're looking at them, considering if you want to eat a hash brown or a tater tot, just consider that they are literally sponges to soak up that oil. And it was the nastiest thing. Oh my gosh, y'all. I just don't. If you need a reason to eat healthier, here's your sign. 100%. For the people that are listening that eat clean, consider most things cross-contaminated as far as with pork and everything. The fryer oil being used to cook fish and shrimp on Fridays, and then other stuff, that would otherwise possibly be per se clean, say like the chicken livers or the tater wedges. At least they're more potato than sponge. But anyway, I don't know how picky or detailed. I mean, if you drive through a drive-through and get French fries, do they cook fish in that same fryer oil? And no, I know not all fish is unclean, and I honestly have not a clue what kind of fish this is. It's called sway or something. It's supposed to be a knockoff catfish, I think, but I don't know if it's actually in the catfish family. I don't know if it has skins and fins. Yeah. Let me think of the word. Scales and fins. Sorry, got a little tongue-tied. But anyway, so even if this fish is clean, I mean, whatever I did research on it, it was like, it's just, I think it's a farm factory fish. I don't know, but no. And I mean, that's even a whole nother can of worms. And I'm without going through all the details. Fish is sketchy on Fridays, but never, ever, 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 ever eat fish on Mondays. Just saying. But anyway, what else are we eating that we should not be eating? What is your diet like? Even part of being prepared for whatever's coming down the road. Even if it's old age coming down the road, what are we preparing our bodies to be like in the future? I'm not even going to go on and touch all of the pops, candy, cigarettes. Well, okay, candy, yeah, pop. Okay, in general, yes. All of this stuff. Fake sugars, that's one of my big ones. I fuss at my husband and my kids constantly. Stay away from the fake sugars. And of course, I mean, I could do just as easy say, I need to stay away from all the sugars and sweets and, junk food of that aspect. Is one thing better than another? I don't know. But from a food handling stance, I'm saying don't eat fish on Mondays and, question it strongly on Fridays. But yeah, just, in a preparedness mindset. even if it's preparing just for your future self or your future medical bills or whatever. What are you setting your future up for by your diet? So, instead of, buying 3 pops a day, try to cut back to 2 and a thing of water. I just encourage everyone to try to do better. I'm hoping that my life is going to get calmer here soon, which hope is not a strategy. I will steal that from Bear Independent. Yes, he is correct. But I do have some things that are, might be changing here soon and might make things a little easier on my life. But, and you shouldn't ever wait either for the right time to start taking better care of yourself. But anyway, yeah, there's another squirrel, right? Another squirrel, another rabbit hole. I have got to stop, not chase it on video this morning. So, anyway, there's a lot to think about. Try to be healthier. Get to be friends with whoever is serving you food to the point that they will be brutally honest and tell you, hey, I would not eat that. Because, hey, I would not eat that. So, I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful day. And, of course, much love, many prayers, and shalom always.